Welcome back to In the Garage, in the Garden. Another update, part 3 I believe it is, on the facelift on this garden. If you haven't watched the previous 2 videos, go check those out. Straight off the videos from the other day. So if you look behind me, we've got the wall built here and here. So everything is nice and level. I've got 2 4x4x6s buried 2 feet deep, so it's 4 foot sticking up. I've got back here, straight off of this 4x4, you can see here, I went off the back of it and the back of these 2. Reason being is I will be able to see this part of the wall and this part of the wall, which is why on this wall the 4x4s are on the back of the wall, and on this wall the 4x4s are on the front of the wall. Because of what will be seen and what won't be seen. Also, if you'll notice, I have my gutters. The more I thought about it, the more I got to thinking how much water actually flows off of this gutter back here and that gutter right there. And a decent hard rain, you're talking hundreds of gallons, possibly. What I was going to do was take those 2 gutters, this one over here, and loop it basically inside the garden through some corrugated pipe back into this gutter over here and water the garden. And a couple of reasons I changed my mind. One, the whole reason I'm building the wall is to lift this garden up higher, the bed of the garden up higher, because this dirt, the original garden, was completely overrun with weeds. I think I stated in my very first video on this project that it was so far gone. I could have spent hours and hours a week and still would have never been able to get out in front of it. So this was my other option. So basically what I'm doing is I've tilled this up really good, and I threw in a solid dose of herbicide and also another weed killer in pellet form, and tilled all that in, and then went ahead and sprayed it down again, just giving it my best effort to kill these weeds and keep these specific weeds from coming back into the new garden. So with all that said, the weeds for the most part are dead or dug up, tilled up. I'll lay a weed barrier, a heavy weed barrier, over all of what's going to be the new garden, and then I'll backfill it with 16 inches of dirt. And you can see the new concrete. It goes all the way around over into that corner. And I think I talked about this in the first video, but I'll build a 16-inch center block wall, the whole outer circumference of the garden, and then I'm going to face it with some stone and then put a nice cap on top of it. I'm not having a whole lot of luck finding the cap that I'm after. I think I said maybe in the last video or the video before, I have a specific look that I'm looking for. I just haven't been able to find it yet. And I'm okay with getting just concrete caps and maybe acid stain them. There's a very specific look that I'm after. But I'll find it. I'll find it. I know a lot of people who watch this video are going to say, you know, the better this garden starts looking, the more crappy your porch starts looking. And I know that's the next project. Hopefully, maybe this year. If not, maybe spring of next year. But we're going to take this same stone that's going to face the front of this wall, and we're going to stone the whole inside of the porch around the bay window. Also on top, we're going to pull the vinyl, venting vinyl down, and we're going to replace it with some 5/4 decking. At the bottom of the porch, we're also going to replace it with 5/4 decking, completely rebuild the stairs. I think we're going to go with a wood and a wrought iron. My neighbor right here, she beat me to it. She took basically exactly what I wanted and done it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Looks gorgeous. So we're gonna keep on with that and redo it. We're not gonna replace the door. A door basically just like what we've got is around $900. There's nothing at all wrong with our front door. So we're just going to paint it maybe like I don't know, like a medium to dark oak or like a lighter walnut, something like that. Everything's going to be stained. Now, this pole right here, we're not going to take it down. Obviously, it holds up the roof for the porch. What we're going to do is just cap it all the way around and stain it. But all the handrails, everything is coming down. Like I said, all the vinyl's coming down. It's going to be stone to match this up here. Now, this, I'm looking at it, and right now it looks super huge, super gaudy. I'm not 100% sure it's going to stay. Maybe if we get farther back. It's big, and I really didn't know it was going to be that big. Obviously, I'm the one that measured everything out, but until I get it up there and look at it, I'm thinking to myself, you know, golly, that's freaking huge. But I also have to remember that the wall is not up yet, the dirt's not in yet, there's the greenery behind the wall obviously is not in yet. So before I make any decisions, I'm going to leave it till everything else starts coming together and see if it still looks as, to me it just looks out of place, but I don't want to do anything with it yet. And as it starts coming together, if I still have that same feeling about the, you know, it just being a little big, then we'll either put another pole in the middle and cut the wall in half, or take, you know, 2 of the 2x8s out of it and just cut the 4x4s off at the top. We're still going to put a hanging basket. It's not a hanging basket. It's I've heard them called windowsill flower beds. I think that describes it pretty well, except obviously it's not on a windowsill, but the same design. And it's going to, if I leave the wall, it'll stretch the whole length of that wall, and we'll have some greenery or maybe some sort of like cucumber vine or something other, you know, in there. And we may end up accenting that wall with more of the stone from the front of this wall. Just haven't decided yet. But back on the drain. So just to me, it wasn't going to work. I thought it was a good idea when I first went through my head. But man, if we were to get a 2 or 3 day, you know, steady rain, that's potentially hundreds of gallons of water with absolutely nowhere for it to go, and except you know, finally up under the house. And that's definitely what I don't want. So what I did was I ran this gutter down and ran it through some 3-inch PVC. I brought this gutter from where it's I left it there, but then down here on the bottom, I brought it around to where it'll be inside the garden under the dirt, and ran it along with that gutter. And I've got maybe a 3-inch slope on this gutter down, and about a 2-inch slope on this one. I know it doesn't look like it looks very level. Trust me, it is not level. There's about a 2-inch drop from here to here. So even with settling, you know, as long as I've got, you know, 1/2 inch to an inch slope from one end to the other, the water won't gather here in the corner of the pipe. And the idea is that the water comes down with enough force that when it comes out down here, it'll shoot out across the driveway away from the center block and the stone. That was why I moved that gutter, because it drained right here, right out here, and it would have drained right into the front of that stone. So that's definitely not what I wanted. I wanted to keep that gutter water away from here. Right here is about where the face of that stone is going to be, and right here is where that gutter came down, which it was in the way to start with, and even had I moved it over, it would have still shot water right up under all my stone, which is what I don't want. So it was easiest to just bring this around inside the garden, hide a whole lot of that stuff under the dirt, tie it in with this piece of PVC, and with some pressure, which there should be plenty of pressure. I got an 18-foot drop here and here. Should come out with enough pressure to push that water on out across, you know, 8 or 10 feet out into the driveway. So just wanted to catch y'all up, and if you've got any suggestions, if you see anything that you know I've done wrong so far, now would be the time to tell me. I am not a landscaper. I am not a gardener. I am someone who refuses to pay somebody to do something I think I'm capable of doing, and I believe I've said that in other videos, not just this series of garden videos, but my in the garage videos. If there's something I believe I can do, I'm going to give it my dead level best to try to do it before, you know, me as a tightwad comes off with money to pay somebody else to prove how stupid I am. So, like I said, any suggestions, anything you see that is not going to work or may cause me trouble, let me know in the comments down here. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. You'll get notified, and we'll keep this thing rolling. See y'all guys next time.